Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? This is Dr. Chris Featherstone here for yet another episode of UnSKripted with my unscripted bro himself, the legendary Bill Apter.
Well, thank you. Or in my Samoan name, Apter.
Apter. What is it? What is it?
Oh no, that's not Samoan. It's Pedro Morales.
Yeah, that's fine. I still like when you do it. What is it?
Pedro Morales was. Well, you have to ask me. You be Vince McMahon and ask me about an opponent I'm wrestling if I'm ready.
Pedro, I want you for the Intercontinental Championship versus The Rock Don Morocco.
Well, you know, Vince, I am nervous, but I am ready for any kind of action, baby. I don't care, Vince, if I have to be picking up a chair. I am ready for you. I do hundreds of them.
Very nice.
Especially back from that era.
Yes,
I'm one of the few people who can actually do a Bruno Sammartino.
What's your Bruno?
Pretty good. Interview me. Ask me about
we're here in a capacity crowd with the WWE champion, the legendary Bruno Sammartino. Bruno, you've got a match tonight at the Boston Garden against the William Apter, the Samoan William Apter. How do you feel tonight against your match?
You know, let me tell you something. You know, all these people that say that I hate this Apter guy, I don't hate him because hate is a very strong word, but I have a lot of animosity against him, doggone it.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah. Thank you. Do you do any wrestling imitations?
No, I'm not.
Not one?
I do a little Dusty Baby. That's
okay. Well, you know, that's my specialty as well.
If you will. Yes. That's all I do. Dusty.
So listen, here's my gripe.
A little Booker T, sucker. There you go.
Tell me you didn't just do that.
Tell me you didn't just say that.
Tell me you just didn't do that, sucker.
There you go.
I actually have the approved interview voice of Ole Anderson, but not enough people. Right, a wrestler would go over, and I was there a million times. A wrestler would go over, Ole, what do you want me to do for my finish? I don't give a damn what you do for your finish. You can drop dead in the freaking ring, come back to me, get your freaking money, and come back tomorrow and do it all over again.
It definitely sounds like something Oldie would say. Yeah,
it was. I was there. So here's my question of the week.
All right,
King of the Ring, baby, which I always thought was, I'm going to use the word silly, because when they had a guy like Harley Race, who was one of the greatest scientific NWA wrestling champions, to put a crown on him and a cape, and you know he went for it because it's money and all that, but it takes away a lot. But here's my whole thing with the King of the Ring right now. I'm not going to be talking about the tournament at the moment. We can discuss that next week, you know, a few days before that. Mm-hmm. But when I was growing up, if you had a world champion wrestling a United States champion, only the World Heavyweight Championship, or now an undisputed, it's not even universal anymore, is it?
Right, it's undisputed WWE Championship.
Now just it's undisputed.
Right.
They took the universal out of that, which I'm sure Carlos Colon is very happy about, because the championship down in Puerto Rico was always the universal championship.
WWC.
But they have not made it clear to us folks as to which belt is up for grabs. I would assume Cody's, or are they both on the line? Are they not going by the old standards? I think it's just going to be for the World Heavyweight Championship, that Logan Paul is going to lose in a great match because he's amazing and he and Cody are made for each other. in the ring with their style. But he loses, and the people are going to go, oh my God, Cody's 2 champions. No, he retains his U.S. championship. Are they going to do that to us?
I agree. Yeah, I think that it will be just for the undisputed WWE championship. And from a business standpoint, I talked about this on PNP last week. I understand why they did it. I mean, and I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at Cody Logan Paul. I've said before, I think that there's going to be a Cody versus Logan Paul match, and I think the bill was lousy, but I do understand from a business standpoint why they decided to do it. I just wish that the bill was stronger. I don't mind Cody versus Logan Paul at all. From a business standpoint, it makes sense, especially from an international standpoint. Logan Paul brings, if there's any person who brings casual fans in right now, it is Logan Paul. It's still a cross promotion with Logan Paul being champion. It's still working for the WWE as far as bringing casual fans to the product. I don't think the WWE does a really good job bringing casual fans to the product nowadays, but from the standpoint of Logan Paul's fan base, I still think it's a really big asset to have him there. Pat McAfee too, and I do think that it makes sense for a Saudi event. It's usually Saudi events are either illusions, like a lot of Saudi events are just like one-off championship matches. Like you had Logan Paul versus Roman Reigns one year. It's just kind of one-off matches, and I'm
like thrown together with interest.
Yep. Yep. It makes sense to me. I think
but
just
which belt
makes sense.
Which belt do you think is going to be?
Yeah, I said it was. I said I think it's just the WWE Championship.
Yeah.
I think it's just Cody versus Logan Paul. Yeah,
me too.
Which I'm fine with. I don't have any issues with that. I think it's fine. Like I said, I think it's just a one-off match. If there's any kind of throwaway match, so to speak, to have that type of match, it would be Saudi. I do think that if they knew. So here's my question to you. In your opinion, how quick, like how soon or how long have they known Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul at King and Queen of the Ring? Do you think it was pre-WrestleMania or post-WrestleMania?
Probably post WrestleMania. I think it just, who we going to put Cody in the ring with? Well, why don't we do Logan Paul? Okay. I just think it kept. I don't think there was a lot of weeks of thought of who to put Cody with. I think this is just an attractive match, and it's not. The headline of the show is King of the Ring tournament. Although I think there's more major interest in Drew McIntyre beating Damian Priest. So that sets up for SummerSlam, Priest versus CM Punk for that title.
Well, Priest and Drew isn't booked for Saudi.
No, I thought they were going towards Saudi Arabia for that.
No, it'll probably be June. It'll probably be in Scotland. Or Drew.
Yeah. That would make more sense. That would make more sense.
Now, I think the concept of the King and Queen of the Ring is so outdated. I used to love the pay-per-view when it used to be a pay-per-view, but it just doesn't mean anything. I mean, with the exception of Owen Hart, Booker T.
Did Jerry Lawler never held it, did he?
Never did. No, never did.
That would have been so obvious.
I mean, SK Nation, as far as people who benefited from becoming King of the Ring from a main event standpoint, the only two, even Owen really didn't benefit from a main event standpoint per se. I mean, he had that match against the cage match against Brett. That was the main event match. Well, that was a world title match, but it made sense of why he won, because he wanted to not be in the shadows of his big brother and he went to upstage. I thought that was great. I thought that was really cool. Booker T and 06 run, 07, that was
that King Booker thing went over. That was good.
That was wonderful.
He knew how to do it. He knew how to get that gimmick over.
It worked tremendous.
Yes.
And of course, you know, it was pivotal in Austin's career was winning the King of the Ring. And so since 1985, so it's been almost 40 years. So I only named 3 wrestlers in 40 years that really benefited from winning it. Brock Lesnar did too, because he was the only person who he won it in 2002. And that was the only time that the stipulation was the winner gets to go against the world champion. He won it and went against The Rock at SummerSlam and won.
But it's just silly stick to me, unfortunately.
I agree with you.
I
think it should be the winner of the tournament in Saudi main events against Cody the same night.
Yeah,
and I think if Logan Paul would have won, it would have made sense. Like, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Or goes on to SummerSlam against Cody.
I think the same night would have had more stakes to it, just because it's in Saudi. You want to make it big. I mean, the winner could win by disqualification or take Cody out or something like that, and that could have carried. I mean, like, if you have this stipulation in Saudi every year, if this is a yearly Saudi event, you got to give more stakes to it. You got to have the winner of the tournament, the opening the match, opening King and Queen of the Ring finals, opening the PLE, and then the winner of those two go against the world champions. And what will be even cooler is you can, you know, throughout the PLE, you can the world champion of your choice. You know what I mean? If you win the tournament, you get to go against the champion of your choice. Or, you know, they have Raw and SmackDown, you know, sides. The Raw champion can go for the World Heavyweight Champion, or the SmackDown winner can go for the WWE Championship. Something that makes it more at stakes. You know what I mean?
Well, you see, the amazing part about this is it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's the King of the Ring or just whatever, because now WWE is so accepted all over the world. No matter what the PLE is, it's going to draw and it's going to do well. And there's going to be some controversy coming out of it.
Yeah, and I think if you're doing Saudi events like that, I think you want to keep the stakes up. You know what I mean? I do think that would really be cool if they did something like that. I mean, I know that people from WWE watches, you know, these shows, and hey, I think you guys should do that. I think it would be more at stake, especially from a Saudi standpoint. I think it would be pretty cool. So
they say that Nick Khan was over there recently again, and it's becoming, you know, now that they have that WWE Expo there in Saudi Arabia, they've got the pay-per-view. They're really making that a prime WWE destination.
Yeah, they're getting a bunch of money from that deal. Was it a 10-year deal?
Something like that. Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah. So soon, maybe we'll see WWE Airlines taking chartered flights from the United States to Saudi.
That deal should be up soon, right, though? Because it was a 10-year deal. One of the first Saudi events was the Greatest Royal Rumble. Was it back in 2014, maybe?
Maybe.
Somewhere around there, 13, 14.
I don't remember the exact time.
It's been that long?
You're right. And now it's going to be renewed. You know that. And it's probably going to be for a lot more money, too.
Yeah. Didn't they pay like 25? Didn't USA pay them like 25 mil or something like that to keep them for the rest of the year? They're just making money hand over fist, man.
They can. You know what? Like Triple H says, WWE is on fire.
Yeah,
and they are. They are. A couple of people though in WWE right now. When I watch WWE, you know, we talked about a few weeks ago about the ratings being down after WrestleMania and all that, and it's amazing how things have leveled off. Where some of the people who are so hot at the top before WrestleMania, like LA Knight, is like a bit stepped down at this point. Drew McIntyre has risen way up again.
He was hot before WrestleMania.
Yeah, I know. I agree, but he seems to me to be even hotter right now. He's got, you know, that whole anger thing and that's going on with him. But when I'm looking around the whole WWE universe and I'm trying to think about that guy right now, it was Cody for a long time there, but he's not the first guy that's coming to my mind now. Drew McIntyre is the guy that's sticking out to me at this point. What about for you? When you would Raw and SmackDown, if you think of that one wrestler that's just sticking out there to you, who is it?
Drew is money. I mean, I think I think, if there's any, I highly critique the product as a whole, especially Raw. SmackDown, SmackDown, I don't even watch from the beginning to end anymore. I just watch, clips and stuff of it. Okay. Yeah. I can tolerate watching clips of SmackDown, but Raw is insufferable many times, many weeks. But I do enjoy watching Drew's segments. I do think he creates an interest, and like his segment is a segment that I watch because
there's a fire.
Yeah,
there's a fire there.
Yeah, it's intriguing. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel formulaic. It doesn't feel repetitive. It's a new type of zinger all the time. He was talking about CM Punk, and as far as like being an addict or something like that, it just without even taking drugs, stuff like that, man. Like that's back in the day when I was growing up, man, we used to do something called Play the Dozens. And Playing the Dozens were just like people around the neighborhood, especially on the school bus. We used to do this on the school bus. We used to just crack jokes to each other. And so like you're initiated, like either you sank or swim on the school bus. And when you were playing the dozens, you either had to have zingers back or you would just go home crying or go to school crying, and you had to like learn. And so that's the reason why I learned how to crack on people a lot. We used to call it cracking. I used to crack on people a lot, and I learned how to come back. I have comebacks when people like do
you'd be great on stage with hecklers in the audience.
Yeah, for sure. And so like, it seems like Drew, he knows how to, those zinger comebacks, those one-liners. And it seems like he had some type of something going on growing up with that too, man.
And he's got the freedom to do it now.
Yeah, and I like that. I like that too. Not as bullet points, by the word as far as just scripted and stuff like that. I do like the fact that they have more freedom in their promos. I think that's good. Yeah.
Before we went on the air, we were talking about Warner Brothers, Discovery, and AEW, but I want to talk about something very sensitive about one of the AEW talents. Mm-hmm. Is it time for Chris Jericho to retire from in-ring competition?
Well, that's a wonderful question from the legendary journalist Bill Apter. Of course,
I'm asking you because
a wonderful question like that, Bill.
Well, thank you. That's what I do for a living.
Yeah,
I ask questions.
With that question,
wait, let me go into my Howard Cosell. I'm now asking. Well, hold on. I'm now asking Dr. Chris Featherstone, the magnanimous Christopher Jericho of All Elite Wrestling. A lot of people say that he should now retire from his perch.
Okay, so I'll preface it by saying, I have an all-time top 5. Do you have an all-time top 5?
It changes every day.
Okay, what's your current?
It changes by era. I mean, I go back, to my days growing up with Mil Mascaras,
okay,
Bruno Sammartino.
Okay.
Oh God. I'm trying to think of current guys, well, The Rock's got to be in there.
Okay.
That's 3. It's difficult because most of them from when I was growing up as a kid, they seem more realistic back then. Bruno of Ric Flair, of course, mm-hmm. and Harley Race, yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, that's tonight. If you ask me next week, other than Mil Mascaras and Bruno, they're probably the other 3 will be different. Nice.
So I've had a fixed top 5, and we've got a super chat, so I'll address it here in a minute. Thank you very much. I've had a fixed top 5 for probably about the last. It's been the same for probably the last 20 years. Actually.
Okay.
Yeah. So number 5 is number 5 is and it's 4 and 5 is swapped, but
yeah, okay.
Five is Booker T.
Okay.
4 is Chris Jericho. 3 is Ricky Steamboat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I missed him.
Yeah. 2 is Dusty Rhodes.
Mm-hmm.
And I've told you my all-time favorite wrestler, right?
You probably did, but
Sting.
At this hour, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Sting. Yes, of course.
So that's been my constant top 5 for probably the past 20 years. It's been
mine's like my musical tastes. I change musical tastes every day.
So that's been my constant top 5. So I said that all for SK Nation knows. They know it was Sting. So I say that for a purpose. Okay. So I'm prefacing by saying Chris Jericho, at least for the past 20 years, has been in my all-time top 5. It's been probably about 25 actually, but it's been at least 20 years.
Okay.
Fixed all-time top 5. But, okay. So I'll preface it by saying I think the answer is emphatically yes. I think it's time for Chris Jericho to let it go. I think
to let it go in terms of leaving completely.
Yes, I think he should retire completely. If he has
being a manager type of guy.
No, I think he should just completely let it go. I think he would make an incredible agent. I think he would make he has a really, really good mind for the business, and I think that he would make a really, really good agent. To me, Jericho, it's like he puts himself in angles that are just unnecessary. I mean, like he just dabbles. Like the biggest thing that bugs me about Chris Jericho is that he puts himself in a lot of angles, but Chris Jericho was never wins and losses mean something. They're very meaning. The reason why Roman Reigns for the past 4 years is the only person that really feels larger than life. That's a current roster member, is because he barely lost. When Jey Uso beat him, I think it was Money in the Bank last July.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first time that he lost in like 3.5 years.
Yeah. And
they made that a big thing. That's why wins and losses matter. But unfortunately for Chris Jericho, he puts over everybody. Like he put over Fandango. He put over Evan Bourne. Like he just loses and he just puts over people. And it's like, look, if you're not putting them over, if you're the one who's known to lose a lot, so it's not putting someone over.
But the fans still love to see him.
Yeah, but that's his character, though. That's not a matter of putting someone over.
No, I understand that. But I would have loved to have seen this whole thing with Hook work out, where he became Hook's mentor and he stopped wrestling and he just started bringing Hook up, or somebody bringing.
I don't think Hook needs a Jericho rub whatsoever.
No, maybe not. No, that's why I said maybe not Hook. Maybe somebody else that Jericho could mentor and bring up as the next.
Well, he kind of did that with Sammy Guevara.
Yeah, but that obviously was stopped. But I still think there's time to do it. I don't think the fans are sick of seeing him all together.
A lot of them are.
Yeah, but I think a lot of them still want to see him. He's an attraction, and I think they need to hook him up. I would love to see them hook him up with someone that they're not doing the right thing with, for like Wardlow. Somebody could have taken Wardlow. WWE, what they would have done with Wardlow, what their machine would have done with Wardlow would have been incredible. I always said he could have been the next Batista, but Chris Jericho, I'd like to mentor him. Hey, look, you're not getting anywhere with anybody here, with all these groups you're belonging to. I believe in you. Let me take you over. And they run all the training films and I think it'd be great for Jericho to
I
do
think
that.
I think the only problem with Jericho nowadays is that his rub doesn't feel his rub feels rubbish, like in a tongue in cheek way. I don't see Jericho's rub meaning anything anymore. I think it's been diluted so much, and especially when he loses so much that it doesn't feel as the aura isn't as big as it was. I think when he came in and the inner circle stuff, I think that was cool
Great
because
stuff.
he didn't lose a lot. He was still his when they used to do records a lot, his win-loss record was very impressive. That's the reason why, again, wins and losses matter. Inner Circle was cool in the beginning, but then Jericho just kind of rubbed. He's just kind of like, there's so many people who got a Jericho rub that really didn't mean much. Like Orange Cassidy, like Jericho got himself in that. MJF, Eddie Kingston,
Well,
Hook.
the MJF thing, I loved. I thought that was really good, compelling TV.
I
I
think
really liked
Cody
it.
and MJF was cool in the beginning. Jericho and MJF it was okay. I
Oh, I
mean,
thought it was great.
no,
I'm traditional wrestling, but when they were doing
yeah.
all that song and dance stuff and stuff like that, I just, but
No, that was
I
funny. That
still,
was funny. I
but
will.
I still see him giving the rub to going on, being honest, saying, "Listen, my in-ring career right now is done, but I'm going to be mentoring this guy."
I don't think Warlow needs a Jericho thing. If we run with that, for instance, it would have to be someone that just that doesn't need a Jericho rub to go to that next level. I
to
don't think
change an angle, to change the whole. Wardlow's the guy who needs his whole thing
Oh yeah, he
redone,
needs a massive
changed.
overhaul. Yeah, he needs a
Yes, yeah,
massive
yeah,
overhaul. I
and
agree.
that's why I could see him with it. What you wanted to
But I don't
talk
think
about?
Jericho's momentum is high enough for Warlow. I think it'll bring him down more than
I
push
don't
him up.
know. I think if they do it right, see, like WWE would do something like that right, where they take him. You'd see Jericho sitting in the dressing room with Wardlow. Listen, you're getting nowhere. You're doing this. This is wrong. This is wrong. Let me repackage you. Let me do this. And
WWE probably 20 years ago would do that. They wouldn't do that now.
no AEW. I'm talking about.
You said WWE would do that. Yeah, I
Oh, I'm
don't think.
sorry. I mean AEW for
Gotcha.
Jericho to do vignettes with this guy, and this guy going like, "Yeah, well, maybe, maybe you're right, Chris." And well, why don't we head over to the gym next week? And then they have the vignette in the. I don't know. I can see it.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
were talking about um, Warner Brothers
Mhm.
Discovery before we went on the air, because
Yeah.
this is AEW we're talking about.
Yep.
So
Yeah. There's some rumors of it not the deal not being as lucrative as yeah. There's
rumors.
rumors, as I said, as it was before, because right now there's a good chance that AEW could be losing. I mean, that Warner Bros. Could be losing NBA, and if they lose the NBA deal, that's their bread and butter. If they
It is.
lose the NBA deal, that's really bad news for AEW. And so if
Well, how does that hurt AEW?
because that's the huge source of money coming in for
Okay,
Warner
okay,
Brothers. Yeah,
right.
yeah. So that's like one of their biggest sources of cash flow coming in from
Right.
NBA. Yeah. So that would hurt that would hurt AEW because that would cause them to have some budget cuts. So, and I think at the end of the day, if Tony Khan has to look for, I think it's like October or somewhere in the fall where their deal's up. They had 5 years, and they started in October as far as Dynamite's concerned. So hey, man, we could be looking at either a smaller place, a smaller deal for AEW. Uh, if they get a smaller deal, or either a smaller deal with AEW with Warner Brothers, or a smaller channel, if they get a smaller channel, do you think that would be a huge blow to the product?
Absolutely, sure,
Yeah.
because a lot of cable systems don't carry smaller stations.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
that would hurt. You see, what they need right now, I'm looking at this in a business standpoint, but what they need, if you ask a fan on the street, a wrestling fan, hey, name me a WWE guy, they'll come up with the name of one of the WWE guys.
Yeah.
Name me an AEW guy.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah.
They need a franchise guy. They need or girl.
I agree with that.
It was going to be Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné. It was going to be her, but they've dragged this out so
They've
long,
pulled her
waiting for
off
this
so
for all in
Double or Nothing.
Double or Nothing, not
Yeah.
All or Nothing, Double or Nothing. That buzz has gone down.
Yes.
In my newsletter this week, I talked about also Saraya. You barely
Yes.
see her on TV anymore.
Yes.
She was megastar in WWE.
Yeah, but that's Tony Khan booking, though, man. It's like Tony Khan can't say that he doesn't have the star power. Like, if you have to think about it, like the flagship name was initially Chris Jericho. So, like,
Yes.
that was the big thing. Like, that was his first major promotion signing outside of WWE in 20 years. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
he was there in 99 for the past 20 years in podcasts and interviews. He always will say, I'm going to be loyal to WWE. I'm going to be loyal to WWE. You know, he did some New Japan work with Kenny Omega and Naito, I believe it was.
Yeah, and the Bullet Club and all that. Yeah.
And so I do think that was a surprise. But when he signed with AEW, that was like the big whoa.
That
Like,
was
this,
huge
like,
news
when he made,
yeah.
So,
How much do you miss Sting in AEW?
not at all.
Do you feel a loss of Sting, or do you feel like he was never there?
I would say the middle of that. I say that he did what he needed to do. I think that I'm very glad that he's gone. I think Tony Khan said that he went like 30-0, or Sting who said he went like 30-0 in AEW. There's one thing in the past 5 years of AEW that I can give them credit for is how they treated Sting. I think they did a wonderful job with that.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to see Sting wrestle anymore. So like that was so there was. I think the WWE did a horrible job with Sting. I still think that he should have beaten Triple H at 31. I think that was a horrible idea. It made no sense to me why the NWO, his biggest rival in the WCW, came out to help him. That made zero sense to me. And then the sledgehammer shot from Triple H, and then all of a sudden Sting's going to shake your hand after you hit me with a sledgehammer. That whole booking was a complete catastrophe. It was horrible. So I'm really glad that Tony Khan made right with Sting's legacy and had him go the way that he did. So he did it.
Yeah, it started off right.
I agree. All the vignettes and the build up with Triple H and Sting, it was really, really good, man. One of the Raws was in my hometown, and I was there live, and it was a cool time because Triple H came and cut a promo, and then there was times where there were like Sting like images of like people faked Stings, and it was like all over the arena, and they would show lights, and it would be like Sting images, like people like
I remember.
And those were like really, really cool.
Did the Young Bucks and Jungle Boy Jack Perry come across as strong heels to you?
In a sense, and Perry does more than the Bucks.
Okay.
Yeah. Perry does.
They come across to me like punks, running.
I agree.
Punks running the
school. Like punk kids. Yeah, like pesky kids. I mean,
running the school.
They have that vibe. Yeah. All right, let's address the super chat before we go.
Yes, let's do
that. $2. Burger after burger after burger was awesome. Yeah, another one of those zingers that Drew McIntyre did against.
Burger after burger after burger.
That was really.
And you notice, by the way, with Sheamus now, he looks good. It's like after 2
I can
weeks.
tell that he's toning up. Yes.
Yeah. So all that stick about him being overweight and all that is like past. They
That's
don't
probably
talk about
why. That's probably why he embraced it, because he knows that. I mean, he's a machine, man. He knows that he can get it in shape in a matter of weeks. So that's probably why he embraced it in the beginning. So it was a gutsy move to to come out, a little heavier than normal.
Yeah, but
Sheamus.
it was okay. Drew.
Yeah.
By the way, the other rumor going around when you're talking about AEW is that Becky Lynch is thinking of going there. Absolutely,
Not a chance.
there's
Not
no
a chance.
way.
No,
There's no way.
not a chance.
No
Not a
way.
chance. All right. Well, we're gonna head out there. We don't have any more super chats. Thank you so much, SK Nation. The chat is wonderful. Lots of interaction within the chat. It's really cool. Let's read a couple more. I love King
I was going to say you
Booker.
have a couple we can.
Yeah, we got to roll, but I'll shout out. Love listening to you guys. Logan Paul is money. Very nice, very nice. King Mabel. Yeah, King Mabel was an. I don't think it really helped him. Yeah, as far as the winning the King of the Ring. Yes, he did have the title match against Diesel, I believe, that year. I believe it was 95.
I'm bad with remembering dates.
I think it was 95. I think it was SummerSlam 95. It was Mabel versus Diesel. But but that's as far as he really got. The heel turn, the King Mabel, that helped him like very, very short term. But after that, it did nothing.
No, it didn't mean anything.
Yeah, agreed. Let them know about all things Bill Apter.
I will do that, but Michael Pesolano says he's mentoring Wardlow now. I don't know anything about Chris Jericho. Maybe it's backstage he's talking about. Anyway, up top will be my one-man show.
Hold on, real quick. Got another super chat. We got Young Reckless. Yeah, do you think Cena Punk was Rock Austin of the PG era?
Cena Punk.
No. I don't think so. No, they had a little bit of something going on during the summer of Punk, but that was a short term.
Yeah, but Rock Austin was Rock Austin.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. All right, Bill, what you got, my man?
This coming weekend, Teddy Long, Holla Holla, Mac Davis, and I will be at the SICW. You do that well. SICW Fan Fest, and my show on Friday night at the Aviator Hotel in St. Louis, Missouri is sold out. Sold out. You sold out. So I want to thank all of you who bought tickets for my one-man variety show. It's not one of these, let's sit there and talk controversial wrestling. There's music, there's contests. It's just, you have a hell of a lot of fun. So that's this weekend, Friday night. Saturday's the Fan Fest. Over 60 legends will be there. Go to sicw.org for more information.
Wonderful.
And by the way, Cowboy Bob Orton will be inducted into the St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame, and his son, this kid Randy Orton, is allegedly going to be there to present that to him.
Very nice. Very nice.
You ever hear that kid?
Who?
Randy Orton.
I heard of his dad.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Go check out all things Bill Apter at After One Wrestling. I'm heading over to Pancakes and Power Slams, where I'm going to talk about a massive WWE programming change revealed by Dana White at a recent press conference. So we'll talk about
Yes, I know about that. So I'm going to tune in and watch it.
Good stuff. Thank you, man.
We love you all for tuning in every week, every Tuesday night live.
Look, if you haven't subscribed to Wrestle Binge, Sportskeeda Wrestle Binge, do that.
Shame on you if you haven't.
Man. Absolutely. Please hit that sub. Please follow my guy, my bro, Bill Apter at After One Wrestling. You see that underneath his name. Follow him. Bill Apter is continuing to grind in the business. He is just all over the place, plastered all over, putting his pins, putting his thumbtacks.
I don't drink.
Putting his thumbtacks on cities everywhere. That's what he does, man. So go follow my guy Bill Apter. Follow me.
And hopefully you and I will be tag teaming at SummerSlam.
Part two.
Yeah,
Part two.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
Yes, indeed. This guy right here, Bill Apter. I'm Dr. Chris. This is UnSKripted. Have a good night, buddy. What's your catchphrase?
We'll see you. Take it.
I'm going to let you say yours and I'll say mine.
At the matches.
So low.